Hey guys, today we're going to do a walkthrough of QuoteIQ and all of our new features as of June 2026. If at any point you would like to try QuoteIQ, you can click on the first link in the description below, and that'll take you to our website where we offer a free 14-day trial on any of our plans. Also, if you'd like to do a demo with the QuoteIQ team, or if you have any questions you'd like to discuss, you can click on the second link in the description and we'll meet up and help you get those questions answered. Lastly, some information might be blurred out to ensure the privacy of all data. Of course, nothing on your system would be blurred, but let's jump right into it. Here, as you can see, this is QuoteIQ. This is your home page or your dashboard analytics page. This is the first page you'll see when you log into QuoteIQ. I usually like to show this because it shows things like your year-to-date sales, your revenue flow, your profit and loss. Shows your expense by type, sales by service, things of that nature. Do also have a mobile app. I am currently using the website version. Everything that I can do here on the website, you can also do on the mobile app. It will just look slightly different. Right off of that, I like to touch on our AI Autopilot. Our AI Autopilot is a feature we recently added, which allows you to do anything you can do within the software right here through a simple AI conversation or text. So you can do things like see how many unpaid invoices you may have, even message those unpaid invoices. You can create an estimate, schedule a job, all from right within here through that simple conversation or text. If you do click this globe icon, you can use this as a chat GPT as well. Right off of there, I'll touch on our estimates page. Here with our estimates page, it is broken down into 7 separate categories. You do have your draft estimates, your open estimates, your accepted, scheduled, declined, paid, and archive. Anytime that you do create a new estimate, it will populate here in the open section. Here we do have 5 separate types of estimates. We do have the option for AI to create that estimate for you. You can enter a simple job description and any photos, and AI would create that estimate for you. We have a package estimate for if you wanted to offer a good, better, best package. We have an options estimate for if you wanted to select multiple services for your customer and give them the option of which services they wanted to move forward with. And we have our standard estimate. This is an estimate where you would select those services for your customer, and your customer would be able to choose whether they wanted to move forward or make changes to that estimate. Here on the next page, this is where you'd be able to enter all of your line item prices. This is where you'd be able to see all of the different services that you do offer. We do offer different types of pricing, including square foot pricing, linear measurement pricing. We have quantity pricing, time pricing, material pricing, and you could also charge per job or per mile. Right from here, you would be able to select any service from your service list. On the next page, you would have the option to add any sub-line items to your service or materials to each specific service. You would have the option to mark up a certain service, or you can turn that service into an optional add-on or an upsell for your customers. Right from here, you would also have that option to add any materials for your entire project. And this would be linked to our inventory tracker, which we'll go over in a moment. You can enter that quantity and a unit type here, and it would already show you your unit cost, and you'd be able to see that markup percentage right from here. You can add that right in, and that'll add to your total. Here, you would have the option to mark up all of your services. You can add a discount by dollar amount or percentage, as well as a deposit by dollar amount or percentage. If you did need to update your tax rate, you can do that here as well. And you can set a separate tax rate for each of your customers in their contact page. Here, you would have the option to turn taxes on or off. You can choose whether your customer can self-schedule online. You would have the option to choose whether your customer is required to sign or not. Here, you can hide all of your line item prices so your customer only sees that total. And you would also have the option to show all of your unit breakdowns so your customer can see how much you charge per square foot or per unit, things of that nature. Here, you can upload your own custom terms and conditions. You'll be able to enter any message to your client here. You can add in any PDF documents as well as photos. And those photos can be taken right from within QuoteIQ. So you don't have to save them to your device and then upload them into the software. They can be taken right through QuoteIQ. Here you have the option to add any AI photos. This would allow you to choose any before picture or take a before picture. And you can use AI to create that after rendering for you to show your customer what that job can look like before you've even started. Here you can enter any custom footer. And then you also would have the option to attach your inspection forms right here to your estimate. Here on the next page, this is a preview of what that would look like for your customer. You would have the option to save this as a template. If you do use these services often, you can text this to your customer. You can email this to your customer, or you can copy the link and send it a different way. Here, I'll show you what that would look like for your customer. So this is what the estimate would look like from your customer's end. Of course, would have your company name and logo, your customer's information here, whichever service or services they were going to be getting. Right from here, they can accept, decline, or request a change to the estimate. If they do accept, if you do have the signature requirement turned on, your customer would have to sign. And if you do allow them to self-schedule, your customers can schedule right from here as well. Here, moving back to our estimates page, anytime that you do have an open estimate or an accepted estimate, you can schedule right from here. Once you click the blue schedule button, it'll populate with the information for you to schedule that appointment. You'll have your customer's information. You can select a start date from here. If the job was going to last more than 1 day but was not recurring, you can select a separate end date here. Here, you'll be able to enter a start time and end time. The job can be as long or as short as you would like. You would have the option to add in any recurring schedules here. You can use one of our preset recurrences or create something custom. Lastly, we would have the option here to also schedule the job for later. So if you weren't sure what date or time you would be able to complete that job, you can choose the schedule later box and it'll populate into a separate section on your calendar. Here you would have the option to assign to different employees or crews. And once you click confirm schedule, that job will populate onto your calendar. Next here, I'll touch on our price book. This would be where you would input all of your different line item prices or services. Right from here, you can enter a new service. You'll be able to type in that service name, price, and description. Here again, we do have those same pricing options. You would also have the option to add this to a custom category if you maybe wanted to keep better track of your services. Here you can choose whether or not your customer can online self-schedule for that specific service, and you can set a duration for that service as well. And lastly, here you can choose whether or not that is displayed on your InstaQuote. You'll be able to set a service minimum price right from here. Next here, I'll move on to our calendar. So here with your calendar, you do have a monthly view on the left and a daily view on the right. If you did want, you can also change the monthly view to a weekly view or a daily view. You can filter by employee or crew to see what a specific employee or crew has assigned for that month. You also would have the option here to view all of your jobs on a map view. You can use this to view your past jobs as well. Next here, if you do look at the right-hand side, again, you have that daily view. You would be able to click on the actions button, and this will give you the option to send out a mass invoice to your customers, maybe from the day, the week, or the month. You would have the option here to export your schedule, maybe for someone who doesn't have access to QuoteIQ. And again, you can choose whether you wanted that to be from the day, the week, the month, or something custom. Here you would have your schedule later jobs. So any jobs that you did choose to schedule later, they would populate here in this list. If you do click on the job and uncheck that schedule later box, you can assign this just as any regular position. If you do click the job and uncheck the schedule later box, you would then be able to assign this job as any regular event. Here you would have the employee and crew timelines. This will give you a more detailed view of what your employee and or crew have assigned for that day. And lastly, here we have our route optimization tool. This gives you the most efficient route from your start point to your end point with your jobs in between. All right, moving right on from there. If you did click on a job from your calendar, you would be able to see the customer's information right from there. You can send an on-the-way text right from your calendar. You'd have the option to start a job timer so you can track how long it took to complete that job. Here under details, you would have your scheduled details. So what date and time the job is assigned for, as well as who it's assigned to, and the service that the customer was receiving. Under the report tab, you would be able to keep track of your materials, your labor, and expenses, so you can track your profit margin. Under notes, this will be a section for any internal notes. And under photos, this is where you'll be able to add any internal photos. Again, these can be taken right from within QuoteIQ. You would not need to upload them from your device. Next here, if you did click on the complete job button, this will give you the option to mark your invoices paid. Maybe if your customer was going to pay using check or cash. Here you can mark the job as done. Maybe if your customer was going to pay at a later date, you would have the option to send the invoice via email. You can text the invoice through your personal device, or you can send it through the QuoteIQ app. If you did need to make changes to that invoice, you can do that right from here by clicking on the invoice button. Here, you would be able to add any additional services. You'd be able to add any materials for that project. You again would have the same option to mark up all of your services. You can apply a discount by dollar amount or percentage. You can adjust that tax rate or convenience fee here as well. You do also have the option to turn off the taxes. Right from here, you can input any client message. You'd have those same settings under invoice settings of a required signature. You can turn on or off. You can hide the line item prices or not. You can show all of your unit breakdowns, which would show how much you charge per square foot. And you also have the option to enable or disable online payments. This would choose whether or not your customer can pay online. Here you can still attach any photos and PDF documents, as well as you'll be able to attach your own payment terms, and you can attach inspection forms from here as well. Right from the next page, I'll show you what that invoice would look like for your customers. And we are integrated with Stripe, so your customer would be able to pay using credit card, debit card, mobile pay, or wire transfer. They would have to sign their signature if you do have that requirement turned on. And on the next page, they'd be prompted to enter in that credit or debit card, their bank account information, or they can sign up with our financing partner, Klarna. If I was using a mobile phone, I would also have an Apple or a Google Pay option here as well. Right from there, I like to touch on our forms page or our QuoteIQ cam. So here with our QuoteIQ cam, so here, this is where you'd have that before and after picture generator in more detail. So as you see here, you'd be able to enter your own before picture. You can enter description to the AI, and it will be able to create an after picture for you based off of that description, just to show that customer again what the job could look like before it's even been started. Next here, we have our job forms page. Here with our job forms, this is where you can track job photos and notes in more detail. You'd be able to add as many photos as you did need, as well as you can add any notes right here into the form as well. And this is something that would have to be sent out to your customer if you did want them to be able to see it. Next here, we do have our inspection forms. This is our most popular form. It is because you can have multiple different templates. So maybe one for a pre-inspection versus a post-inspection, or if you do different services, you could have one for each service, things of that nature. You'd be able to attach this to a customer, and you can have as many or as few questions as you would like. It can be yes or no questions, open-ended text boxes. You would have the option for 5-star ratings and checkboxes. You can also add pictures to each of these questions. Those again can be taken right from within QuoteIQ, or you can upload them from your device. Once you did save the inspection form, this is something that would be able to be viewed by your contact in the client portal. I'll touch on that here in just one second. Here with the contacts page, this is where all of your contacts are stored. It does show their first and last name, their property type, whether residential or commercial, their phone number, email address, and property address. We do also have the option here to add tags to your customer. So if you did have maybe a lead who still needed an estimate, you could add that custom tag just to help you filter between those customers. If you did click into a customer, you'd be able to see the customer information. We do now have the option to add a card on file. You can add any PDF documents that you would like. And if you click here, you'd be able to see any estimates, invoices, inspection forms, before and after photos, job forms, any appointments, or messages that you have with that client. And you can also generate that client portal link right from here. This will bring up this information. You can turn on or off what your customer is able to see through that portal, as well as you can copy that link to send that out to your customer. So within that client portal, your clients can send in requests. You'd be able to accept or decline that request. You can convert that request to an estimate or convert it to a schedule, as well as message the customer. Under the settings tab, that will be where you can send out the link to your customers. You'll be able to type in their name. You can click the generate button here in the top right. And once that link generates, you can send it out via QuoteIQ, or you can copy that link and send it out your own way. This is where your customers can view estimates. If you did have a deposit on an estimate, they'd be able to pay it right from here. Your customer will be able to accept, decline, or request a change to that estimate all from within here. If you did have a deposit requirement, your client would be able to pay that deposit here as well. Under the invoices page, this would be where your client would be able to see any outstanding or paid invoices. They would also have the option to pay those invoices right from within the client portal as well. Here, your client would be able to see any inspection forms that you have completed for them. They'd be able to view all of the questions and any pictures that you do have inserted on that inspection form. And then lastly, your customer would have that option to request a service right from within that client portal. Right from here, I'll touch on our InstaQuote feature. This is where your customer can get a quote directly from online based off of your pricing. You can send this directly to your customer. You can embed this into your website, or your customer can scan the QR code. And this is an example of what that would look like. Your customer would see, of course, all of the services you offer for InstaQuote. The customer can choose one or multiple. On the following page, they would have to answer any questions you do have set up. Each of these questions can affect the price by dollar amount or percentage, depending on how you have that set up. Here, your clients would enter in their information. On the following page, your customers will be able to enter in any additional notes, and then your customer will get a quote specific to your pricing right from here. If you do have the self-schedule option turned on, your customer will be able to schedule from here as well. As you see, they have to sign that signature, and then they can even schedule that appointment all right from within InstaQuote. Next here, I'll touch on our AI estimator. And this is our AI estimator. This is where AI will create an estimate for you based off of any job description and photos that you input. Next here, we have our MapMeasure Pro. This will allow you to measure any area that you do see here. This can measure linear distances as well as area. You can zoom in as much as you may need to get as close as possible. And you would also be able to add this in right from your estimate. You also would be able to use this to measure the pitch of a roof, as you see here. It is just a starting point, and right from there, you'd be able to adjust as much or as little as you did need. And as you see here, you can adjust at any point that you did need. Next here, I'll touch on our pipelines feature. The pipelines is a great way to track leads, sales, or any different stages you want to track throughout your sales pipeline. You can build your own custom pipelines. Each deal can be connected to a client. It can be connected to an estimate or attached to an employee. This is a great way to manage leads or project tracking. You can also drag and drop each customer from one stage to the next. If you do click on any of the deals here, you would be able to see more information about that specific deal. You can see like the amount versus the weighted amount, the date that it was created. If it was connected to a customer, you'd even have customer details here. Next here, I'll touch on our inventory tracker. On the first page of the inventory tracker, you'd have all of your products that you do have in stock, the cost to you, and the price that you charge your customer. You'll be able to see that profit margin right here, as well as the quantity of each product that you do have in stock. You also can set up a threshold. So once your products go below a certain amount, you can receive a notification that you need to reorder. Next here, we have locations. This simply shows all of the locations that your products can be. With suppliers, this shows the suppliers that you do get your products from. You would have the product you purchased from that supplier and the supplier's contact information. Under orders, this is where you can enter any recent orders you've made. You'll be able to see the products you purchased, the value of that order, the quantity in that order, as well as any order ID and expected delivery date. And here under transactions, this is where you or your employees can sign items in or out, maybe report something as lost or damaged. Lastly, here you would have an analytics page for all of your inventory. Here under reminders and tasks, this will be where all of your reminders and tasks can be created. So if you do have anything that you do need to create a task or a reminder for, you can set that up right in here. You'll be able to assign that to an employee and choose when a reminder is set, as well as you can link this to a certain deal from your pipelines or to a customer. Here, this is where you'll be able to create those reminders and tasks. For tasks, you'll be able to, of course, name that task and create a date for it. You can add priority to it, as well as choose if it's assigned to an employee or a customer. You can assign it to a certain job or an estimate or even an invoice. Here, this is where you can create your tasks and reminders. This is something that can be connected to an employee, to a deal from your pipeline. You can connect that to a customer, a schedule, an estimate, or an invoice. With reminders, this will be where you'll be able to set up those job reminders. You can choose which job it is for. You would be able to choose when you need to be reminded, and you can even connect this to a deal from your pipeline as well. Here we have our gallery. This is a feature we recently added in. This is where you can see your photos, documents, and videos all in one place within QuoteIQ. Next here, under inbox, you would have your schedule requests. This is where anytime that you do allow your customers to self-schedule, their appointments would come in here. You would have the option to accept or delete them, as well as reschedule if you needed a better time. Here under contact requests, this would be where all of your contact requests would come in from your contact forms. We have recently updated our contact forms. So now you have the ability to create your own custom form. You can name that anything you did need. You'll be able to choose whether that is a single page or a multi-step form. On the next page, you'll be able to add in as many fields as you did need. So whether you wanted to get the customer's first and last name, if you need an email, phone number, we have drop-down boxes, radio buttons, even check boxes. You'd be able to add an address, section headers, and dates, all to complete your custom form. Again, this is something that still would be able to be sent out to your customer directly, or you can embed this into your website. Next thing we have our employee messages. This is where your employees can message within QuoteIQ without needing their personal device. Under phone, we have our virtual call team. This is a virtual AI agent that is capable of handling inbound and outbound calls. You'll be able to add any knowledge here to its knowledge base, and it will be able to read off of that to answer questions for your customers. You would also have over 20 different voices to choose from to help set up that agent. Next here, this is our ClientHub feature. This is where you would have in-app texting and calling. You would get a QuoteIQ generated number with your local area code. And right from within here, you'd be able to set up that in-app texting and calling. We do also have a call recording feature as well as a voicemail feature. And you can also get a transcript from that call recording if maybe you prefer to read. Next here, we do have our employee overview. This will give you a small view of the employees that you currently have active. You'll be able to see a small view of our sales tracker here. If your employees were using the app or sharing that location, you will be able to see their live location right here. And you do have a small view of that employee messaging all within the overview section. The employee messages here, again, this will be where your employees can message without needing their personal phone number. Under employees, this is where you would be able to add or remove employees. You'd be able to manage what permissions they have, as well as their calendar color, availability, and notifications, all right from within here. You would also be able to add those crews. So if you did want to create a crew, this is where that would be created, or you could remove a crew as well. Next here, we have our live tracker. This will show you your employee's location anytime that they're using the app or have it running in the background. Here, this is our time tracker. This is where your employees can clock in, clock out, take a break. You would also be able to manage their time from here, as well as export it for payroll. Here we have our sales tracker. This will be where you would be able to see all of the estimates created, any invoices created, the revenue collected, and the conversion rate. You would also have an employee performance leaderboard here as well. This here is our website builder. This is where you'll be able to use AI to build that website for you. You'll be able to make any edits and then push that website live. Here we have our automation campaigns. This is where you can create automated emails or text messages to go out to your customer. That can be based off of any of the event triggers that we do have here. When your estimate is created or when your schedule is created, when your estimate is declined or when your invoice is paid, when your estimate is accepted or your invoice created, when your schedule is updated or deleted, or when a contact form is submitted. You can have an email or text message go out to your customers, and that can be immediately or 30 minutes after, up to 2 years after that original event trigger. Next, here we have our text and email blast. This is where you'll be able to send out those mass text and email campaigns to all of your contacts or specific contact lists. Most people use this for if they're going to offer a promotion, as you see here, or maybe if they're closing for a specific period of time. That's usually what these mass text and email blasts are used for. Next here, we have our review multiplier. This will be for any time that your customer does pay using Stripe, they are automatically redirected to the review platform of your choice. You can also set up an email, text and email blast or an automation for that as well. You can also set up a text and email blast or an automation for that as well. Right from here, I'll touch on our QuickBooks Sync. So we do also have a QuickBooks Sync. It is a one-way sync from QuoteIQ to QuickBooks, and it would sync over those invoices, estimates, contacts, services every time that you press this button here. Lastly, we'll go over our subscription packages. We do currently have 5 separate tiers. They are split up by the amount of monthly credits you would receive with each plan, the amount of users that each plan is enabled to, and of course the features that come with each plan. If you were ever stuck between any 2 plans, you can click our compare plans option here, and you'll be able to choose between any 2 that you're stuck between and see each difference between them.